Hey! Welcome. I know I'm gonna come.
Oh no.
Oh
That's
yes.
scary.
After the last episode, dude, I'm worked up.
I'm hot and bothered.
I'm hot. I'm so hot and bothered after talking about all that hentai, dude. I gotta chill out. We gotta chill out with some spooky stories.
Yeah.
We gotta relax a little bit, you know?
Welcome to the Friday Hour.
Yeah, the spooky hour. We're coming at you with cum and spooks.
We
Yeah.
swear this is different.
SpookiBoiz after dark. After hours, after dark, whatever. I think I'll just go with after dark. It sounds sexier.
After hours.
This is the segment where we indulge into spooky things.
Yeah. The paranormal, the supernatural.
The unconventional.
Eventually, we're gonna have a segment or a segue,
Yeah.
music and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try to find something to fit this.
Yeah,
but,
just a maniacal laugh or something. Go,
Yeah.
"Ooh." Or just record your own. Because that's what it sounds like.
I can't do it anymore. But yeah, this is a new thing we're doing. I've been listening to like a lot of Art Bell, a lot of Midnight in the Desert, and for those of you that don't know, it's like a radio show where people like crazy people call in with like paranormal experiences or like shit like that, and it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun program, and I feel like there's not really that kind of program anymore. I mean, there's some podcasts here and there that are kind of mid, but
Yeah.
for the most part, you know, there's nobody to fill that gap, and you know, not that we're gonna fill that gap because
Fill your gap.
yeah, fill your gap right up. And at some point, you know, we are gonna have better equipment to do this, but for now, it's like a thing we want to do
Yeah.
because I feel like not only do we have a lot of paranormal experiences, this is a thing that can like kind of last forever because you know there's ancient legends and myths from across the world. There's
Cowboys.
There's cowboys named James.
Yeah. Cryptids and conspiracies.
Yeah. Cryptids, conspiracies, ghosts, chupacabras, you know, that sort of thing. And what better to kind of start this thing off but the first episode here is Skinwalkers.
Ah.
So
Like werewolves and vampires, right?
sort of. So in Navajo legend, Navajo culture, a skinwalker, which is trained. No, totally different from Wendigo. In Navajo, it means Yi Nadalushi. It means by means of it, it goes on all fours. So the idea is that it's a witch. It's a witch doctor that has forsaken like all Navajo values and forsaken the entire culture, and is turned into like a witch doctor that totally gave in to like whatever darkness, whatever, and has become this like creature that takes the skin of animals and sometimes people and transforms into them in the night. And
Sounds awful.
and they hypnotize people. They'll knock at your door at night and they'll hypnotize you and try to get you to come out. And they'll try to steal your skin. So that's fun.
Like your literal fucking skin.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, right on.
So there's not only that, in their culture, it's kind of like, okay, so in Western culture and modern Western culture, it's kind of seen more as like, oh, they're werewolves, which is sort of wrong because they can take many different forms.
Yeah.
It's sort of right, sort of wrong.
So it's just a shapeshifter.
Yeah, it's a shapeshifter. It's a witch doctor. And the only real way to kill one is to either have white ash, like
Specific.
dip your weapons in. It's a flower called white ash. It's not actually a like ashes. So the idea is that you dip it into white ash, crushed up white ash, and then then you'll have like a good sizable weapon against them. But also there's like you have to learn their name
Yeah.
also. So like
Weird
the
shit like that.
yeah, so it's some weird shit where if like you know their name, you can either trick them into being like, "Hey, I know your name. If you do anything, you're gonna like serve me forever," or "I know your name. I can kill you," and I guess that wards them off. I don't know much about it, but
It's sort of like any other like demonic entity. When you figure
Yeah.
out its name, that's when you
yeah.
can essentially.
The
banish
idea
them to hell.
is that they make a like a pact with the devil to become whatever creature this is. And there's a similar one in Mexico. I forget what they're called, which I'll have to look that up.
So are they like? It's kind of a witch doctor, like you said.
Yeah.
Like kind of like Jamaican, like voodoo style, like witch doctors. How they have like a
Sort
correlation
of.
with the dead.
Yeah, sort of. The spirituality of Native American stuff, especially Navajo stuff, is a lot different than voodoo. Like, it's pretty similar, but it's pretty different. There's another version of this in Mexico, which is totally different culture. Mesoamericans have pretty similar culture, but they're pretty different,
Yeah.
and they're called Nahualas. How do you pronounce
Koala? Let me see. Read it.
Nahualas?
No koalas.
No koalas.
No koalas. No, dude, they don't have any koalas.
No,
Well, that's
what?
fucking lame.
Nahuala.
No what?
And it's the same sort of thing where it's a witch doctor from Aztec culture who has like splintered off and made a pact with the devil to become whatever creature of the night this is.
Oh, interesting story. This happened in the real lore.
And people in Navajo cultures and reservations and stuff still say they see these type of creatures out at night.
One of the witch doctors that, one of the ceremony doctors for priests, shaman, for the Aztecs before the Aztecs were created, did that to one of the native princes. Like they lured her in promises of marrying her, and then they fucking filleted her.
Jesus Christ.
And then the shaman wore her skin and started dancing. And at the end of the day, they invited the father
That's fucking.
to the end of the ceremony because they married her to the god or some shit. And then they got chased the fuck out after that.
Ugh.
No, like the after the father found out that they did that to her daughter, they literally chased that whole tribe the fuck out into like the swamp. And then after that, I think that's where they started building Tenochtitlan,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy that you're talking about in a while.
Yeah. Well, I was looking up
What
Nahuatl. and
What
it
if
seems
they had a
like super
Skinwalker
similar.
as a fucking
Well, it seems like they're very similar concepts.
Yeah.
And it's weird that they're so far apart, I guess. But the legends are so fucking similar. Which that's kind of interesting.
It kind of gives me the Bigfoot feel, how different cultures have different names for it and different representations, but at the same time, it's still a big ass gorilla man.
Yeah. And if you look like there's like police forces on reservations, and in Navajo reservations there is usually. See, I would like to get somebody actually from the culture to talk about this with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't know anyone, so we're gonna sound like a bunch of ignorant ass
No.
fucking crackers.
I don't know many Indian people.
Yeah, but like, what the fuck was I saying before? Oh yeah, there's like police forces on Navajo reservations where it's just like general crime stopping and shit, like just normal police. But there are like fucking like sightings that people have on these reservations, and people like you can watch interviews on YouTube where it is like some of these like policemen who have had encounters with this shit.
I imagine the policemen just look like grandmaster shamans, and they're just fighting demons or
Nah,
demons
dude, they
stuffed
just-
in people's skin.
Nah.
It's like overstuffed.
Nah, dude, they're just straight up like police officers.
Oh, dude, they're the real deal. It's like a
Yeah.
little SWAT team for fucking
Yeah,
werewolves.
dude, that'd be fucking badass.
It's their own.
It's a good idea for a fucking show.
Yeah,
League of Extraordinary.
It's way better than Amish.
It's like Helsing, but like without Alucard.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just like a SWAT team of fucking officers that.
It's like Hellboy, but with like like Native American werewolf hunters.
Yeah,
It's
and
fucking
they're
badass.
serious as fuck the whole time.
Yeah, dude.
Some of them have real like scars too. Like how the fuck did you get those?
That means it must be real, and they're like, of course it is.
Yeah. All right. So there's a couple of stories I found online, mostly from this Reddit post, of like stories that this guy has collected, and it's this. I guess this guy's like probably writing a book or something, but this guy's name is Horror Show 13666. And he's done, I guess, he must be like writing a book or some shit, but he's collecting a bunch of like Skinwalker experiences and stories. And, I'd like to kind of go through one of those stories now.
Yeah.
You guys want to hang out and listen? So here's one of the stories. I don't know who this is from. I guess some person who, I guess, must have given him some liberties to fucking use this. But I just found this on Reddit, so fuck it. Oh, God.
That's not part of it.
No, that is definitely part of it. Just a long fucking burp. Okay, so, bit of backstory. This happened when I was 16 and still in high school. In order for me to get home, I had to follow an old country road where the bus didn't go down. It was kind of a T-junction, or whatever it's called, and was bordered on all three sites by this huge forest. My pa owned a small three-man lumber mill and a corn farm, which was pretty neat. Anyhows, onto the story. I was coming home from school one day, and because it's winter, it got dark late. So I'm not afraid of the dark, and I ain't afraid of the forest surrounding my home. But put the two together, and you can guess how terrifying that could be. Now, you need to know that for the year leading up to the incident, we've been getting a lot of strange issues that had my dad spooked. Several deer had been found dead, gutted, and skinned near the farm. He'd grown up on the farm and knew everything about the forest, or so he thought. Bobcats, coyotes, or even Bigfoot didn't scare him off, if you know what I mean. But he didn't think of it as anything unnatural, just some poachers who would come and go. But he was about to be proven wrong. I was halfway home when I got a strange sensation of being followed. So I stopped and looked into my right to see a deer just standing there and looking right at me. If you know anything about deer, then you know how strange this is. I shouted at it, expecting it to run away, as often as deer do. But it had other ideas. Instead of fleeing, it simply shouted back at me in my own voice. I didn't waste another second before running towards home, which I did faster than I had ever ran before. I didn't say anything to my parents out of fear that they wouldn't believe me. My father, in particular, was a very down-to-earth sort of man. Wouldn't believe anything that he didn't see with his own two eyes. We would have a few more problems after that, but they soon stopped. That was 20 years ago now, and it still haunts me. So that's pretty fucking scary. Another thing that I didn't mention about skinwalkers is that they can mimic people's voices.
That's creepy.
And essentially what they do is, like, if you're off somewhere in the desert, if you're somewhere in like Arizona or like New Mexico or whatever, which is around those kind of like areas like Navajo villages,
Yeah.
not villages, reservations. Shouldn't be an asshole.
Camp Rafugi.
Camp Rafugi. And it's in that sort of area. If you're out alone in the desert, and you hear like a familiar person's voice, it's probably a skinwalker. They use that voice to like kind of lure people into like a sense of like, oh, it's urgency, somebody needs help or something, and that's when they kind of strike.
See, like, I just love, like, the whole theme of this. Like, multiple cultures have a thing for this. It just makes me think back of, like, aliens. Like, you know, like, people, like, have always portrayed these, like, weird entities and beings that don't have the shape of people, but also they do.
Well, it not only is it Navajo, but I think there's a name for it on the East Coast. But I know that the Ute Indians, the Ute tribe Indians, also have a name for it. But it's kind of the same thing because at the same time as they were kind of like in the same area, the Utes and the Navajo.
Yeah.
Especially in Utah, and kind of ties into Skinwalker Ranch a little bit, but they were kind of like at war with each other anyway, and curses were thrown about, and apparently that's how fucking Skinwalker Ranch was born.
A bunch of fucking random people just like mumbling little fucking jibber jabbers and throwing spices at each other.
I guess.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I have no fucking clue how a curse works in native culture, but I wouldn't fuck with that shit, dude.
Nah, dude.
I don't fuck with that
It's
shit.
still in the realm of paranormal and still like these weird forces you don't understand.
Yeah. It's kind of fucking creepy, dude.
See, that's when like a lot of like things. Most of these cultures like they still have this weird representation of magic as well.
Yeah.
Like, this whole like universe fucking juice that is just out there.
Spiritual energy.
And it's crazy that both of these cultures
Wow. My
also
YouTube search
have
is
like,
fucked.
yeah, dude, you looked up one hentai video and now it's just constantly
Ah.
like, it's just anime tits
Full
everywhere.
circle. It's the one you didn't want.
I'm jealous, dude.
I did this in like 3 YouTube searches.
So it's crazy that both of these are like, oh, they made a pact with the devil and then became this. And they're cultures that are so far apart, which is like, yeah, I guess it would be like kind of a common thread if that sort of thing, happened. Like every culture kind of has like an underworld or whatever, and every culture kind of has like a devil.
That's what?
But it's strange. It's real weird, especially after like so many people have like shared their own experiences with this sort of thing. So I'm gonna throw out another story here and just kind of let you guys riff on it when you want to. And mind you, I don't know if these stories are like true or false or whatever.
They're interesting.
Yeah, but they're interesting. And I'm no way, shape, or form saying that this is like real shit.
Yeah.
Because 100% these could be like fake stories and experiences that people may have experienced or completely like falsified just to sound
everyone's
fucking
subjected to their own truths.
Yeah.
But with weird shit like this though, it's like Nome, Alaska.
Yeah.
So 30 people had some fucking 30 to like 100 people had some weird fucking alien experience, and everyone just saying, nah, that's bullshit.
I'd like to get that. I'd like to get to that on one episode.
Oh,
That's an episode in and of itself. And then there's here's some stuff for other episodes. Like the Epstein shit. We'll get into some weird conspiracies about that. Fucking Nome, Alaska. UFOs.
Oh yeah, and how he just casually threw out. That's another thing that happened this past year.
They disclosed that aliens or UFOs are real.
Yeah.
Unidentified flying objects.
Even the Pentagon took a shit when they saw this thing. They were just like, "Hey guys, we're gonna tell you about this now."
You don't know what the fuck this is. I mean,
this scared us. And then like COVID, I just feel like it broke that wall.
Yeah.
So like at that point, they were done.
We're stupid enough to where we're not gonna survive this. So there were aliens.
Yeah. Area 51, you guys were right.
Area 51 would be fun too. That'd be a fun subject.
What, dude? I don't think there's anything in Area 51.
Well, it's not.
Don't think.
Not to jump into this subject, but just to clarify,
I agree with
it's not Area 51. It's like an off base from Area 51 called like Site B or some shit, and that's where all the weird alien shit is.
Really?
And even the dude who came out, Bob Lazar, even he has no idea if it actually is aliens. But
what if
strongly
it's like
hints
this?
at it.
I think about it like this. What if like aliens did come here at one point?
But, they'd be like, "Oh, these people are fucking morons."
No, but it's not what you think. It's more like, "Oh shit, we fucked up. We dropped something in your planet that's very volatile to you guys. We're just gonna come by, take care of this, and then just leave. Nothing fucking happened. You guys, as long as you guys keep this as a hush,
I think there was a movie like that.
we can get out of your hair and we can act like none of this ever fucking happened."
Yeah.
There was
what if it's something like that?
There was some movie.
And people just aren't ready for that.
I forget what it was called, but it was like some zombie movie that
we were
happened
still on
in
Shiny
Australia.
Rocks. Of course we weren't fucking... Shiny Rocks is currency. We weren't ready for fucking aliens.
Yeah. So there was some fucking movie about zombies where it's like aliens that accidentally dropped some fucking virus on Earth. They didn't mean to. And they like came back and like got rid of all the zombies or some shit and then flew away. And then it was just like Mad Max. It's weird as fuck. So, anyway.
Yeah, maybe if it's like
So,
some shit like that.
Back on subject.
So it can be something very simple and procedurally done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like they're probably on some like super government shit and they just did a nopesy and we're so under the spectrum that they don't even really fucking care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh yeah, they'll get to us in 100 years. So let them do that by themselves."
So, alright. I feel like this is a show where we can kind of, it can go on forever. There's like a bunch of shit, dude. So much shit we can go through on this. There's not only Skinwalkers, there's Skinwalker Ranch, which totally different thing. Like there's not Skinwalkers even involved in Skinwalker Ranch, but the idea is that the Ute Indians, like I mentioned before, were kind of at war with Navajo, and in Utah, when the white man came and started to colonize and shit.
The white man.
I think they
Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
I am so sorry about that.
It's okay. Basically, what happened was they got pissed. I forget. It was either the Navajos or the Utes got fucking pissed off that the white men were colonizing, and they teamed up with one of the tribes. The colonizers did, and because of that, they were super pissed, and they were like, "Hey, this entire land and the Uintah Basin is totally fucking cursed. Can't go there." And now it's like whenever you hear stories of like cursed land and shit, there's always this same sort of like shit going on. Where it's like, oh, there's poltergeist activity, there's weird UFO activity, there's cattle mutilations, but there's also like weird ghost shit at the same time.
It's something I never understood. What if one and one is just synonymous with the other one? What if like alien
Well, that's the thing.
technology is just like spooky technology? Like they managed to
What?
like
So-
their technology is like fourth dimensional, and
Yeah.
that's why it fucks with
Yeah.
like our reality
Well-
whenever they use it.
Well, here's the thing, right? There's something that I've kind of noticed about a bunch of paranormal activity around the world is that it kind of comes from like three different sources. There's cryptids, there's UFO shit, and then there's like spiritual shit. And there seems to be very little interlap with each other, but there seems to be like a lot of imitation.
Yeah.
You know,
correlations like there.
Like in some cultures, demons look exactly like fucking aliens.
Yeah.
And they'll like fucking imitate alien people have like a possession in their house or whatever the fuck.
Here's a little like theory that and this is based on a video that I saw that I thought was really fucking cool. Forgot the name of the video, but it basically what the whole character in the video was referring to as the paranormal. Paranormal was basically just the electromagnetic spectrum. Since every single person has at least a type of electron current is it,
Yeah.
in their body, they're saying that maybe that's what the soul is per se, you know. And when people die, they don't necessarily disappear, but they go into the electromagnetic spectrum. So it just floats around, and the Earth has a magnetic field, so it naturally goes into the hemisphere per se, right?
Right.
But since we started with an industrial revolution in the 1800s, which is curious enough, like around the time where a lot of like the supernatural and ghost shit just started disappearing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make sense that maybe we just started using a bunch of spiritual energy and our
Well, it's
fucking
like
light
Final
bulbs?
Fantasy VII,
Yeah.
where we're using what the fuck is it called?
Where's that little creature you buy fucking?
I know what the fuck you're talking
The
about.
like the weird spiritual energy in the planet. They're mining it, and
Mhm.
it's like breaking the planet apart or whatever the fuck. And that's where like materia and shit comes from. in the game.
Materia, that's what
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just basically physical spiritual energy. It's a weird animated like video too, and the way the man puts it in concept is pretty cool. Oh yeah, my title.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
you
wanna
can't
run that.
can't bend your lordship title.
Without it, I'm nothing.
So, like, what I'm getting is that like there's a lot of like, there's not really interlap, but there's like imitation. Like sometimes alien shit will imitate like fucking Bigfoot shit,
Yeah.
or sometimes even spiritual stuff like Native American curses will imitate like Bigfoot. And in their culture, Bigfoot is like a fucking guardian that either like comes to cursed land to like kick people the fuck off, or it guards that land.
Yeah.
And if you disrespect land and shit, that's when like shit starts happening. That's when shit starts going the fuck down. And in Skinwalker Ranch, shit started going the fuck down because they started like digging on that land. So totally, we kind of got off topic a little bit here, but
Yeah, we were talking.
You know what's funny? There's a whole episode of fucking. I know this is cringy a little bit,
that's
depending on the person. There's a whole episode of Big Ten about this shit.
yeah,
But they cross over. They do like the alien spiritual crossover where they have this alien werewolf that is fucking terrorizing, like standard
I
setup,
remember that.
terrorizing everybody and shit.
I remember that episode
So,
too. Then
there's
Ben
also
10
like
turns
weird.
into a werewolf, and he almost like kicks it off with this Native American girl, but all she wanted was that furry dick.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I'm
No,
serious.
honestly, that was the setup.
Oh, no. So there's also
Weird
like
shit.
interdimensional shit where it's like
He was like, "Ew, you're an alien? I wanted a werewolf."
so what happened.
Ain't time for that.
I'm telling you, she
Yeah,
said
there's
that.
definitely anti-
She said that verbatim.
So what happened?
got that knot, dude.
No.
Knotted.
You got there's a literal A prick? No, it's huge, but like...
It's a red rocket and it's got a knot.
Yeah,
on the
she
bottom.
says that.
That's what a dog dick looks like.
Exactly.
You
she
prepared
says
for that? You prepared for that?
That wolf alien cock?
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, come on, man. You're getting flustered again. He's half mad.
Oh, yeah, dude. Ooh.
We're a quarter tub.
Furries. We're furries now. Anyway.
It's a mess.
Oh, what a mess. Alright, so whatever. Back on topic. Here's another story for you guys. Alright, so this happened recently. My father passed away in March of this year, and I decided to return home to claim the farm. It's a nice little place out north of New York.
Wait.
My mother passed away some years ago,
Let
and I
me
had no
stop
other
you
siblings.
real quick before that. So these are like stories you're reading that someone's chronologized events, right?
Yeah, it's this guy who's gotten stories sent to him.
I'm just saying, like that already sounds like a setup to a horror story. My father dies and he leaves me a farm.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
A lot
sounds
of
like a
well,
setup for a fucking movie.
That's the thing, right? A lot of these are kind of
Messengers,
just
there's
normal
no-
situations.
Yeah.
Ever seen that movie, Messengers?
Yeah.
This guy gets a farm for real cheap, and he finds out that a family was fucking murdered in there. And
Yeah.
the old owner of the farm comes back for no fucking reason and helps the guy who bought the farm.
That's how it usually goes, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know, some weird shit happens. He gets whacked in the head, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the guy that used to own this farm. Let me kill everyone in this house, cause I'm psycho."
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but...
I'm
And then at the
psycho.
end, like what was happening is the ghosts
I'm
weren't scared.
psycho.
They were literally the ghosts were scaring the family out of the farm because they were trying to warn them from the fucking father.
That twist, dude. That twist.
Yeah, dude.
And then that's why the movie's called The Messengers. They were trying to relay a message to them. Oh, yeah, the guy that you're helping hands what killed us. So don't trust him. Oh yeah, by the way, he is my husband.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these situations are
Sorry,
just
wait.
straight up like, I mean, as ridiculous as that sounds, it kind of is like a normal everyday situation. People die and like leave their fucking relatives shit, especially houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Even farms, like farmland and shit is very valuable. So it's like when cattle mutilations happen and stuff, it's fucking crazy, but at the same time, it's like,
Again,
you're losing money from that.
yeah, all this shit's happening in really big open areas with no electricity or barely
Exactly.
any. So can we go back to my theory again? That maybe like the sub underweb of electricity that's the mainframe of everything is suppressing spiritual energy.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. It could be a thing.
Nice. I am smart.
Now you have your Amy thesis.
There you go.
Continue.
All right, so back on topic. This happened recently. My father passed away in March of this year, and I decided to return home to claim the farm. It's a nice little place out north of New York. My mother passed away some years ago, and I had no other siblings, so I guess the whole place was left to me. For about a week after arriving, I noticed something with the pigs my father used to raise. Some were disappearing, others were ending up dead. I didn't know why, and there was nobody even remotely nearby, or so I thought.
Wait. Okay, follow-up question. Did he have any experience in farmhand?
Well, it's probably a person who, like, they grew up on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
farm.
If you're raised on the farm, you're working. You're doing shit. It's not
It'd be funny, like the guy's like, yeah, I don't know why these pigs keep dying.
And he just keeps letting them die.
No, he doesn't feed them.
He has no fucking clue.
I thought-
I don't know what's going on, dude. They're just getting, like, picked off by coyotes and
I keep
shit.
throwing mud in there. Right? they like mud.
They eat mud, right?
I thought they ate mud, dude. I was just giving them Doritos and mud.
They eat mud in cartoons, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I gave them a little couple of bricks. They already had hay. Throw sticks in there.
I water them once a week.
Yeah. All right, so I didn't know why, and there was nobody even remotely nearby, or so I thought. One night I was outside on the porch when I heard my dad's voice coming from the cornfield. If you don't know, there are like cornfields and shit in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And like northern New York and shit. It's like there's like a lot of rural farmland and shit.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
forests
A lot of
and
expansive
stuff.
forests. I
New
stayed a
York's
week there.
a lot bigger than what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah.
it is.
So one night I was outside and on the porch I heard my dad's voice coming from the cornfield. "Come here, son." It beckoned me. I was in shock. I knew my dad was dead. I'd buried him just 2 days prior. Come
Himself
on.
with his bare hands.
Yeah. he dug the grave for them. For them to lower the casket, he used his fucking
What
fingers.
casket? Just push the body in.
Yeah.
I've got 5 G's.
I got that kind of money.
He left me a fucking farm.
Yeah, there's plenty of land to bury him here.
He left me bread, not bread.
Yeah.
Kick the body in.
I'd buried him just 2 days prior. "Come on, son. I want to show you something," the voice said again. I admit, I wanted to find out who was messing with me, but just something didn't feel right. That's when I noticed a deer. For a moment, it looked just like a normal deer, like a regular old deer. But then it spoke. "Come on, my boy," in my dad's voice.
It stood up in 2 feet and it took his hooves off.
Not like fucking
Imagine
Adventure
standing
Time.
up. Just,
Oh, dude, to see that in fucking real life? No.
deer gets to talking and it runs like the girl with the high heels on.
Yeah. I was so utterly confused. I just sat and stared at this deer as it stood up on its hind legs and started to walk towards me. You guys called it.
Wow.
It got about 3 meters away from me when it suddenly pounced and grabbed my neck, ripping it from me. It didn't even wait for me to die before starting to feast on me. That sounds like a fake story.
No, yeah, but
So then I posted it online the very
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah, right?
and then next thing it's fucking him.
Yeah. So that seems like
It gets
bullshit
hot and
story.
heavy. Wow, this seems like bullshit. Wow, Robert. So the fact that he got
Seems
a
like it
whole
might be a
farm-
little fake, dude.
Like, oh, I got a farm given to me in rural New York.
There's so much hooves, so much sweat.
You know what, dude? Maybe some of these stories are fucking retarded.
Yeah, man, maybe
Yeah.
it's all fake. Maybe there's no such thing as skinwalkers. Maybe it was all Trump.
It is totally Trump. Yeah. Now I'm pissed, dude. I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, dude, I wonder,
Getting so fucking immersed and then just
Yeah.
like that.
dude.
But there's still the same, the element of it still being the same thing,
So,
and it's,
Robert.
and at that point it's an entity.
Yeah.
At that point it's a singular thing. There's not a bunch of Mothman fucking in your attic,
All right.
like or your chimney. Like they just go there.
Yeah.
What makes a Mothman? What is a Mothman?
That's a whole.
What is a moth to a man?
Yeah.
What's a goon to a goblin?
He's spitting, bro.
I really felt that, you know. Oh fuck.
No, a genuine question. What the fuck's a Mothman?
It's this fucking legend in West Virginia and some of the East Coast where it's this fucking like giant like creature with wings that people kind of describe as a moth, and it's kind of like shown up whenever like natural disasters happen, and there's even like a sighting during like fucking 9/11 and shit. It's crazy. And then after that happened, another great fucking episode. Speaking of this. Would be the Men in Black, because that's a real fucking phenomenon.
Really?
Yeah, like they have been sighted back in the fucking day. When this Mothman shit went down, there was a moment where after like a lot of the town in West Virginia had seen this shit. Don't turn it up, dude. What are you doing?
You gotta hear.
I'm recording.
Okay.
Fuck, dude.
Man,
So
I'll turn the caption on.
So, when most of the town had seen this like Mothman creature or whatever,
Dude, this is on the news. I looked up Mothman.
So Mothman is actually in fucking recent times sightings.
yeah, it's like
Shit,
19,
moths.
I think 1940s and shit.
Shit's a death moth.
Pretty sure
Death
it's like
moths everywhere, dude.
pretty sure it's like
Ew, there's like
1940s.
there's like black shit everywhere.
I don't know, maybe they all just like died by weird circumstance. Like, you know what I mean? They're pretty fragile animals.
Darker source, much politics. What the fuck
Oh
is
yeah,
this
it's
thing?
the fucking Bowser guy. That dude's funny.
This is, This is the end of my only friend. The end
Ugh.
of, ha, ha, ha,
Fuck this guy, dude.
Ah,
ha.
yeah.
Warning for
It's
murder.
this is a bullshit thing.
Yeah.
Man.
So anyway, just to get back to this fucking Mothman thing, pretty much what happened was in the 1940s there was a bunch of sightings of this big like moth creature in Point Pleasant, and they've kind of like commercialized it now, but back then it was like kind of like a weird fucking phenomenon where when this shit happened everyone was like seen inside,
Yeah.
and like it attacked somebody's fucking car or some shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and after this happened, there was like some sighting there was like this big tragedy where this bridge in West Virginia collapsed, and right before that happened, the Mothman was kind of like spotted on like a big ledge
On top of it, yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
and
for the minute.
and then he flew off, and then whatever the fuck happened. Then right afterwards, like a few days later, or some shit, these like dudes showed up, and they were like their face were like totally shaved,
Yeah.
and they would like go up to like the witnesses and shit who had like seen the Mothman, and been like, hey, like grilling them the fuck out, and they seemed to be like kind of hypnotic to people, and they'd be like, hey, don't say anything, and if you have any pictures, give them to us now. And because they had like this weird hypnotic quality to them, people would just give their shit up. And it's interesting because you look at a lot of these there's a lot more like sightings of like Men in Black and shit. Like people have written books on this, and in a lot of these, there's like a weird, vague similarity to like vampires, like vampire sightings back in like the fucking 1800s and shit, where it's like somebody who was like recently deceased or whatever just showing up and like wanting a meal and then leaving, or like violently attacking somebody and then leaving. And it's like very similar kind of stories, but totally different lore, you know. So yeah, that's Mothman. I mean, there's a lot more shit to Mothman.
Yeah. Including like people like say like there's like rumors of Southwest Detroit, like people have seen Mothman.
Well, that should be another episode too.
Yeah.
Wow, they're all here, Robert.
Yeah, dude. So that was I guess that was the first episode.
Yeah.
Kind of, shitty that I couldn't find like actual fucking stories.
Yeah, but all
to come
this
up
like
with.
for the most part, it's all subjected to the person reading it.
Yeah.
And all the vague similarities and still the ever present like entity that is whatever this fucking thing is.
Yeah.
Has it always been, or does it play into the fucking weird energy thing?
Yeah.
Another thing I really want to get into as well is astral projection.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting episode. I'll be sure to like next time we do an episode, just take some more cliff notes.
Yeah.
And like, because this is kind of last minute. I'll be honest.
Yeah, we just kind of like pulled this out of our ass, but
Yeah.
tops are.
It's been something that I've been wanting to do a long time. Because like I listen to a lot of spooky shit, and I just feel like there's not enough like shit to listen to.
Yeah, and there's so much like shit to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's Men in Black. There's fucking Mothman.
Another thing I kind of want to get into as well is as stupid as it sounds, numerology and like horoscopes and like dumb shit like that. I recently got my tarot cards read,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna just save it. I'm gonna save that.
Yeah, we can save that. Do conspiracy theories. Anything we want to do, just kind of throw it on here.
If it's fucking weird, more about it.
Oh yeah, for the Men in Black shit, it was mentioned on this YouTube video we're watching, but
I like to remain a skeptic.
Usually,
I've seen a lot of shit.
yeah. Usually, well, my sister actually has a UFO story,
Dude.
which is pretty fucking creepy.
You know, I think I do too. It wasn't exactly like a...
That random thing you did at a rando now?
No. And randonautic is another thing I want to talk about. Because it plays into the whole universe anomalies.
Yeah.
And is it, I don't know, a little pseudo-dumb? Yeah, kind of. But also, I've had some experiences with it.
Well, I guess that's it for now. Tune in next time when we talk about some other spooky shit. I don't have a subject right now,
Yeah.
but
And, I'll kill moths.
yeah, just kill a bunch of moths. You know, we're gonna bring out the Mothman. We're gonna kick him right in his fucking nuts.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrestle with him.
Yeah, we're gonna dip our balls into his mouth.
Meets Mothman. Want to tussle?
You want to tussle, bitch?
He's like 8 feet tall.
You come
You're
up.
trying to push him and like, and he's just standing there.
You just come up in the fucking the duster and the cowboy hat.
Oh, dude, it's on.
Sound like fucking Donkey Kong, bitch. If I see you in the streets, you're fucked, bro.
Mothman, you're slow. I'm gonna slight you.
Yeah, dude. You will catch the fade. You're gonna catch the fucking fade, dude.
Alright. Until next time.
Until next time. Later. This was SpookiBoiz After Dark. Ha 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 ha. And we don't mean interracial.